Good day. I recently listened to this Delusion Dispeller videos about borderline personality, her latest videos about borderline personality disorder, which I think is very informative. They are very informative, and in fact, they are not the only ones that are informative on her channel, but what I'm about to share is because I checked her videos about borderline personality. And the funny thing is that what I have to say has nothing to do really. Has something to do with psychology, of course, but has nothing to do with borderline. And as I usually do, I do not write things down. I go with the inspiration that I have. And something before I go ahead, I want to say that something I realize about people is that they don't really check on your channel. They don't really study your channel. They just we are living in the entertainment era, and some people out there, they're just they just look your videos when they pop up because they just go here and there, here and there, here and there with the goal of being entertained. And whether they realize it or not is something that I realize that most people are not like me. When I not that I check all videos, that I check their, not that I checked all the channels I check the videos of, that each video I watch that I necessarily check their channels, but I do that very often. When I see, like for instance, I was talking about this Delusion Dispeller email channel. That's not the first time I'm watching her video, so I have a good idea of what her channel is about, and I sometimes go back in history to check, but not most people do that. Most people just, if you're uploading a video, fine, and if you don't upload video, then that's just that. They don't really look into what you're doing. I'm talking about most people. Of course, there are always exceptions to the rules. So, now this being said, what I want to say, and again, main reason why I don't write things down is because I'm too tired to write things down. So I go with my inspiration and I go with what I have in my head. And I go from there, and sometimes I head to what I plan to say. That's how I operate. For now, at least. Eventually, maybe it will be more systematic and be more methodological, but right now I don't even feel to make something methodological, even though I'm a very methodologic type of person. What is interesting with the internet is that, well, some people who are making nasty comments, what I don't understand, if a video personally does not interest me, I don't listen for very long. Let's say the video has 13 or 14 minutes, let's say, and I'm not interested. I'm bored after 1 minute. I just stop and go elsewhere. I don't start bitching about the video that I watch. So I really don't understand people watching your videos. I'm not talking to Delusion Dispeller here, I'm talking in general. People watching your videos and bitching just for the sake of bitching. I don't understand that. Anyways, we can express ourselves, and we can find people who think like we think. But of course we have to be careful, because there are some people out there that they pretend to be who they are not, right? But this being said, um, what I want to add, and what I was inspired, okay, my inspiration is coming from the videos that I watch from Delusion Dispeller about borderline personality, but has not really something to do with the topic. So, what is very important in life is to really know God. And once you really know God, your Creator, then your Creator can help you to know yourself. Because some of us didn't have real parents. And for people who have been abused, you don't necessarily know exactly who you are. And so, by knowing God the Creator more and more, it allows you to also discover more and more of yourself, and more the abilities and talents that God gave you. It's very simple. It's because He's the one who made you. So when you really are in relationship with Him, and you have been abused by your parents, and you didn't really know who you were, the more you take the time to discover God, the more you are rewarded by knowing more of yourself by the same token. And for people who really check my channel, they will realize that this is a real library, and I have many interests, and basically truth interests me in many ways. And so, and actually I'm exposing myself to Spanish too. I learn English by myself, and my mother tongue is French, and I literally learn English by myself, by exposing myself to English. It's that simple. So I must say that I must have some abilities that are not common. Not everybody can just expose themselves to a language and just learn it like this, But it works with me. So I'm in the process of I'm not saying that I'm really learning Spanish. I'm at the step of exposing myself. Of course, I do understand a few words, and I do understand to some extent because my language is Latino-based. So, anyways, just to say a quick comment about my channel for those who are interested, is that if you do research, there is a search button there, and you really can see the range of my interests. And so I'm a humble person, but that doesn't mean that because we are humble that we are simplistic. I really am not simplistic. In fact, I'm very sophisticated. So, this being said, I want to go back to the relationship that you have with God that allows you to know yourself more. Is that the more you're getting to, and this is more for the victims, is more precisely for the victims of abuse in the past, but not exclusively, because there are people out there that were not necessarily abused, or they were loved too much. And this is a form of abuse too, because you're kind of be put on a pedestal by your parents, and it does not really help you to grow normally. So that's why it is a form of abuse, even though it's a soft form of abuse. Each time that you're not allowed to be yourself is a form of abuse. And so, to say that this is not exclusively for the victims of abuse, but victims of abuse, I think they can really, the more you are getting to know God, the more you want to know what He wants to do with you. And sometimes you have more than just one mission. Sometimes you are on different fronts. And so what is interesting is that it works like this. The more you know God, the more He reveals to you why He created you. And the more it is revealed why He created you, the more you know what you are made for, and the more you know your talents and your abilities. That's how it works. It really does. And I would say, don't take my words for it. That is true in general, that when you are not victim of abuse, you tend to be too much centered on yourself and not enough on others. But for victim of abuse, it's the opposite. We need to learn to be more centered on ourselves and less on others. This is how it works. And so, me, by knowing more who I really am and what I'm capable of doing in my talents, the more I'm being effective in this world. This is how it works. Because for the empaths who have been abused, we don't tend to focus on ourselves, and we tend to diffuse ourselves too much. And so the more you spend time with God, the more you get to know His mind, the more you get to know yourself, and the more you're capable of taking your space in this world. And like I was saying at the beginning of this video, it's wonderful with the internet. You really can take your space, and you really can do what you're called to do. Because in the real life, people are mean on the internet, but they don't have much control as much as they have in real life to stop you. You're the only one who really stop. Don't allow bad people to stop you. Just keep going, and don't really pay attention to the words being said to you or about you. It does not matter. What matters is what you do with your life. And nowhere you can learn to be yourself than with God. Not even with a psychologist, not even with a therapist. Yes, they can help you. I have a master in psychology myself. What I'm saying is that, yes, I'm not saying that psychologists and therapists are no good. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you're the first responsible of your life. And so you're the first responsible to discover who you really are. And what is wonderful about this is that the only one who really can tell you who you really are and why you're here and discover all your talents, abilities, and so on is God. God Almighty, God your Creator. Is it not wonderful that no one can stop you for being yourself? And if there are people, don't allow people online to stop you. Your life is too important. There is good humility and false humility. True humility, you do recognize what you do have, what God gave you. When this is becoming pride is when you act as you're the one who created your brain, You act as the one who gave that intelligence. You act like you're the one who gave you those abilities and attitudes. Then this is pride. But I don't want to fall into false humility. False humility being, you don't recognize who you are and what you're capable of doing and your talents and attitude and why you're here. This is false humility, and I'm not interested to go there. So I wanted to add that. Thanks for listening.